It was an ordinary day at the office. Employees from two departments gathered in the conference room to discuss a new project. The atmosphere was tense. Everyone had their own vision. Compromise seemed impossible. Mark's voice was particularly loud. He was the leader of one department and was convinced that his idea should be the main one. Mark was a straightforward person, sometimes even harsh. His arguments were firm, but often left no room for dialogue. He interrupted his colleagues, disagreed with every suggestion, and sometimes even sarcastically pointed out the flaws in others' ideas. The team from the second department was starting to lose their patience when Sofia took the floor. Sofia never raised her voice or sought to be the center of attention, but her communication skills always amazed those around her. She began by thanking Mark for his contribution and emphasized how valuable his ideas were. Then, calmly and confidently, she explained her perspective, offering clear and understandable examples. When Mark tried to interrupt, Sofia remained composed, kindly returning to the discussion. She asked questions to clarify the details of his suggestions and skillfully pointed out where improvements could be made. Gradually, his tone softened and his arguments grew weaker. Half an hour later, the discussion came to an end. To everyone's surprise, even Mark agreed with her point of view. It seemed impossible. How did she manage that? Why did her arguments convince everyone? Let's break down what Sofia did that made her words so powerful. How did her approach not only protect her opinion, but also earn the trust and respect of all the participants? The age of publicity and the importance of speech skills. The modern world is changing rapidly. More and more, we notice how many things can be done without uttering a word. Messages, messengers, apps, and social media make all the decisions for us. But despite technological progress, the need for speaking skills remains one of the most crucial. On the contrary, it has only grown. We live in the age of publicity, where every word can be recorded and saved forever. In such an environment, the importance of speech skills cannot be overstated. When anyone can become a public figure through their phone or computer, the ability to speak clearly and persuasively takes center stage. Mastering speech becomes the tool that opens doors to success. As a wise person once said, your success directly depends on how well you can speak, write, and the quality of your ideas. Indeed, this phrase remains as relevant as ever. Great people, as we know, have always been able to negotiate and influence others through words. We remember them not only for their ideas, but for their ability to persuade. Today, it's more common than ever to hear that the science of speech is not just a set of rules, but a crucial skill for successful communication. And if you feel that others around you speak better, more confidently and persuasively, don't worry. This is something that can and should be improved. The key element of successful speech is capturing attention. In an age of information overload, your listener or viewer will likely be inclined to change the channel quickly. To hold their attention, you need to start with something bright. Perhaps an interesting question, a surprising twist, or even an emotional story. In this video, I began with a story that wasn't a traditional greeting, but immediately grabbed attention. As we see, a good conflict or contradiction instantly creates tension and encourages the listener to stay tuned. Your task is to intrigue from the very beginning so that you hold their attention until the very last word. Guys, I have an ambitious goal this year to reach 50,000 subscribers on the channel. If you enjoy my content and want to support me on this journey, hit that subscribe button now. Your support means the world and motivates me to create even better videos. Thank you for being here. How to become a master of speech. So, after discussing the importance of speech, let's now think about what is needed to become a master of words. What can you do to make your voice, your words, and your message meaningful? The first thing to understand is that successful orators are not born. They become so through practice. Anyone can improve their speech if they work on it. Let's break down a few key aspects that will help you master the art of speaking. The first is the ability to structure your thoughts. A good speech always has a clear structure, an introduction, a main body, and a conclusion. This not only helps you avoid getting lost, but also makes it easier for listeners to absorb the information. Structuring your thoughts helps maintain attention and steer the conversation in the right direction. The second point is the pace and rhythm of speech. Many don't realize it, but this is really important. Speaking too quickly, chaotically, or conversely too slowly can distract from the main message. Orators know how to adjust their pace depending on the situation, ensuring that their words retain their power and that listeners can absorb them without unnecessary strain. Equally important is the emotional tone of speech. A dry, monotone speech, no matter how smart you sound, won't grab the listener's attention. It's essential to be able to play with emotions, pause at the right moments, add intonation, convey feelings through your voice. This makes your speech lively, rich, and convincing. However, despite all these technical elements, the most important thing you need is confidence. People can always tell when a speaker is unsure of themselves, even if they're saying the right thing. So, work on yourself, build your inner confidence, read books, practice. And remember, confidence doesn't come right away, but it's worth developing. And of course, don't forget about your audience. It's very important to be able to adjust to your listeners to understand how your words are being perceived. This is the key to not just speaking, but actually conveying your message. And once you master all these skills, your speech will begin to work for you. It will become not just a tool for communication, but a powerful instrument of influence. And that means you'll be able to persuade people, share your ideas, and inspire others.